again, we're looking over the Sage code, and certainly it should be readable at this point. You know, the reset command, assigning t as the variable t, I'm sorry, defining t as a variable, and then assigning vt as a function, it's a cubic function. And then this thing over here, it's what it's doing, it's integrating the absolute value of vt, all right, between 0 and 6. Right. Let me go back over the notes, though. It's not so much, typing this stuff in, but, what does it relate to? What problem does it relate to? And, how does it address the issues that we've discussed in the notes? So we're looking for t cubed minus 10t squared. Let's take a look over it. Right here. All right. So again, what I'm going to claim over here is that, if you read the questions, they talk about displacement. All right. And next thing they talk about is total distance. Now, a lot of people are confused by those concepts. And that's something that's where it comes in the study department, and also listening to lecture, possibly reading the book. But we do write the integrals down for you. So, displacement is basically, between 0 and 6, what was displaced at that point in time. But distance now is really covering, like, if you're moving forwards and backwards, yada, 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 that what we're looking at is distance now, that distance traveled. And so there's a difference between the integrations. And again, this takes thought on your end, and we're hoping you're willing to do that. Now, what's the problem with that? If I do this total distance problem, it's the absolute value. So this becomes much more difficult for me. All right, much more difficult than the first problem, A. So the claim about this one, if you do it by hand, you'd have to do this and solve the inequality, find out when is it moving right, when is it moving left, and then do the computation. Surely more involved. We put all the work down there for you, and we do explain the work to you. Now, of course, I'm going to say that it would be nice to be able to verify my work by using computer algebra system. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go to my computer algebra system. Give me one moment to do so. I'm going to launch it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my computer algebra system. And what am I going to do? I'm going to do reset. Give me 1 second. I'm going to define t as a variable. Again, the point of doing homework by hand or problems by hand is to learn what needs to be done. And I'm going to define a function vt. I'm going to assign it t cubed minus 10 star t squared plus 24t. That's 24 times t. Remember, if I make a mistake, it'll come back and say I made a mistake. Displacement is pretty easy to do. It's an integration problem. We are not telling you to use a computer, though. What I'm saying is you should probably learn how to use a computer. And what am I doing? Integrate. I hit the tab key. I didn't feel like typing it out, and I want to do integrate. And I'm only going to integrate vt. Oops. Respect to t from t equals 0 to 6. Fairly easy to do. And certainly it's done its tire. It's going to be 36. All right. So I want to point out, I wouldn't want to use Sage for that, but a bigger problem, I might want to do that. Now let's do the total distance. That's going to be integrate. Now what I'm going to integrate here is the absolute value, ABS, of the function VT, T, and I'm going to go from 0 to 6. Now I want to point out the first one was really simple to do. The second one's a little more difficult to do. All right. And we won't do the work. And certainly all the work is written down here, so I'll type that for you, read through that. And also we did in class. I mean, when I did in class, we did at the whiteboard. All right. So the bottom line is the answer to that one's going to be, 148 thirds. Now, Sage has no trouble computing it at all. And that's an important thing. That you start to realize Sage can do things that may take us more time to do by hand. And that's an important fact about using the computer algebra system. But again, here's the deal. You're not going to be able to do problems unless you understand what the problem is. I mean, Sage is not going to be of any benefit to you unless you know what the problem is, how to formulate a problem, how to write it down. And roughly speaking, how to solve the problem. All right. Thank you.